What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Twist Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review. This is of Handmaid's Tale, Season 6, Episode 5, Janine. Okay, so first of all, I want to apologize for being late. I meant to get this to y'all yesterday, I think. But y'all know I'm dealing with the situation with my mother and some all other stuff. My mother is home. We just literally walked back in the door from picking her up from the hospital. So she was there with 10 days. Yeah. So I'm finna get this to y'all though. We finna get into it. This season. You know what? I just had a random thought about this show. After all these years, why is Nick the only eye that we have ever encountered? None of the other commanders' drivers have been seen at all. All the drivers were supposed to be eyes, according to Emily and June, right? It's like they created this secret society of eyes specifically for Nick's character, because he's the only one that we have met. The eyes are supposed to be the spies who spy on the commanders and report back what wrongdoings the commanders are doing. But ever since the Red Center blew up, they have not seen Nick report to anyone else. I know that he's a commander at this particular time. Nick basically, hell, he doesn't half-ass, do his job anyway. He's supposed to be helping out the resistance. He ain't doing that. He's supposed to be commanding. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I'm confused. Why is Nick the only eye that we have ever met? Is there no other eyes out there that could possibly flip and be part of the resistance, that could also be sharing intel? Why are we only depending on Nick? Even though we don't get into a lot of the other aunts' backstories, we know we just deal with Aunt Lydia for the most part. We have seen other aunts. We have interacted with other aunts. We have interacted with Marthas. We have interacted with other commanders, other wives, other eco families, other guardians. But Nick is the only eye that we have ever met. And now that he's a commander, he's not even doing eye duties anymore. Matter of fact, Nick don't even have a driver. He's the only commander without a driver. He still drives himself around. Why is that? Why do y'all think that is? Let me know. I know it's something that I've been thinking about. I don't know why it's crossed my mind. This show, I think about the many layers that this show has, and I think I get a better understanding of why I hate the character June. I think I said this early on in season 2. I feel compassion for the fact that she was enslaved and the things that were done to her, but her as a person, I do not like. I see her and Serena Joy as the same person, just on different ends of this. They the same, different sides of the same coin. That's what they are to me. There are a lot of people. The movie Sinners is out, right? I love that movie. Let me tell you, I went to go see it 3 times already. I'm going to see it the 4th. Yes, I am. And I've already pre-ordered it on DVD, and I've already pre-ordered it on HBO Max. That's how much I love it. I'm just saying, I love it. I watch every review that's out there about it. But there are a lot of people who don't want to see the movies because they feel like the movie will be conditioning them to let sin in, be opening them up for demons to come into their life. That's why people don't watch it. But these same people, some of these same people that's saying that about the movie Sinners, love Handmaid's Tale. And I've noticed that these same people who love the show so much, they feed into this idea that we supposed to feel for our oppressors or the oppressors, because they're not directly mine, but they are very similar to the people in this America who is trying to continuously oppress us as a people, especially us as black people. But yeah, very much so. Somewhere between season 2 and season 3, I felt that the writing had started to slant in a way to try to make us garner compassion for them. I don't get it. I think that the show writers and the directors, specifically Elizabeth Moss, has purposely tried to influence the viewers to mold into this acceptance of Gilead and some of its ways, some of its beliefs. I noticed that we are getting a lot more of the faith aspect of it, which I know Gilead is supposed to be built on the faith, but they really focus a lot on that now more than the fertility. So they focus a lot on that. And I realized that the way that they are writing this, they want us as viewers to be forgiving of like Serena Joy, forgiving of Nick, things of that nature. I noticed in the beginning, I remember in the beginning, that we all of us used to say, under his eye and praise be, every time we talked and communicated about this TV show. We would drop it in the comment sections or what have you, right? These are phrases that the oppressors on this show are forcing on those who are in their captivity. They are forcing them to say these as a sign of submission because it's their walk of life. So they want these people to assimilate into their walk of life and be acceptance of the abuse and the torture that they are receiving as long as they're under God's eye. Y'all notice, I don't know if y'all did, but I don't say it as much anymore. I think when I do say it, I say it sarcastically. I say it less and less. And I think that I unknowingly did so. I unknowingly started backing off of it. But if I'm accurate, when I look back, when I started to decrease how much I say under his eye and praise be, and I used to say him as greetings to y'all. It's when I started to feel that they were trying to make me feel compassion for those who created Gilead. And I want to say it's season 3, around the time that Commander Lawrence joined. You know, he was a good guy, kind of, sort of, kind of. And when I started to really resist the idea of kumbaya with our oppressors on this show, is when I started to stop saying praise be and under his eye as a form of a greeting or a form of bonding with you all as much. You know, and I think that's when my dislike for June just like really, really grew for the character. And my dislike for Elizabeth Moss as a director as well. She does these forced glares into the camera. And for me, it's like the teacups on Get Out, okay? It serves the purpose for us to connect with her in a way that we are willingly giving of ourselves to her as a character, to her way of thinking. That's why they focus so much on her eyes. You know, they say the windows of the soul is the eyes, it's through the eyes. And I'm like, under his eye, okay? And Nick, again, is the only eye we know. Is it symbolic that he's the only eye? And some of the fans have failed under his eye. Just an observation. Just a random thought that I had. Just a random thought. I didn't mean to spend 10 minutes on a random thought. Anyway, on to the show. This is going to be a long video because I did 10 minutes of that. On to the show. We open up the episode, June dressed as a Martha. She comes in range of the camera, removes her mask, and stares into the camera and glares into the camera. As the song, when she's walking in, It's a song called Walk Away in Silence. It's the soundtrack of her approach into this scene. A lot of people have a tendency to act out their emotions with their face and with their eyes. June used to early in season 1, and now it's no longer used as a way of acting out her emotions, but it's to give herself an adjective. Her looks, her stares, her glares, like I say, it's basically saying, I'm a bad bitch. That's basically what it's saying. And we as the viewers need to recognize how bad of a bitch she is. And I'm like, girl, bye. Girl, whatever. And she sees Moira on her path and she smiles at her, and Moira turns away from her and eye rolls. Okay, my soul did backflips. My soul did backflips when Moira did that. It seems like Moira is finally getting a backbone when it comes to June. Humbled the fuck out of her. Just for a brief moment though, okay? She felt a little better when she got sight of Luke and Ellen and got the little head nod of approval from her. You know, she even planted a real healthy goodbye kiss on Luke's face. Threw me off because Luke went on his mission. But the way she was kissing him, she hasn't kissed him like that with that much passion or that much wantonness since she has returned to him. Moira and June, they took away in the cargo hold of it's like a single panel inside the truck, and then they was off, right? So over in New Bethlehem, Nick was advising Wharton that they have reunited 26 families with more to come into Bethlehem. Wharton says to Nick, these people are expected to be safe here, as promised, insinuating that he's really not fully on board with this idea of the society yet. Nick says the safety is his top of his priority, right? Wharton says, okay, so why do we have 2 dead guardians over in no man's land on your watch? 2 guardians left for dead. Let me correct my words because it's important. He said 2 guardians left for dead. And I thought Nick was going to take care of them. So he just left them the fuck out there. That's how stupid of him. Wharton let him know that he need to put the rebels in their place, okay? He's kind of Commander Joey 2.0. You know, he's the bad guy. But they try to make him seem so kind-hearted. You know, his religion is giving him the kind heart that he has. He's like, you know, more on the religious side, and Commander Joey more about the Benjamins. But like I said, he tells him he need to hold these rebels accountable. And Nick said he opened investigations into what happened, you know, investigating himself. But one man is dead and the other one is in a coma, and he's not expected to awaken. That's why I had to clarify that it's 2 men left for dead, not dead. Well, Nick, not so fast. The one in the coma, he not as bad off as you think he is. By the will of God, Wharton says he has made a remarkable recovery, which means he's about to start singing, okay? And that's if Nick don't go pull the plug on him, okay? At the end of the last episode, Aunt Lydia, she came face to face with Serena Joy, and now they're here discussing the handmaids that Aunt Lydia ruled over, and why are they now hooking it for the commanders, right? And Serena Joy said, what the fuck you think was gonna happen, okay? And I was like, Serena Joy, you knew about Jezebel's all along? Interesting, okay? Lydia say, I didn't think any of this. It's not what I thought. It's what I was promised. And y'all promised me that these girls were going to be rewarded for their service. And Serena Joy, like, you fell for that? Okay. You believe everything Gilead says? She said, well, you believed a lot of what Gilead said too before your travels, my dear. Get off your high horse. Get off your high horse, right? So especially since you're the one who orchestrated the life of a woman in Gilead and their roles. I don't know why people keep forgetting this. So they go back and forth, placing the blame on each other about who treated the handmaids worse, until Aunt Lydia said, this is stupid shit, right? Okay, so Serena Joy said, well, I opened up a fertility clinic up in Canada, and it's doing pretty good. Thank you very much. Aunt Lydia said, what the hell they got to do with the price of tea in China? Okay, well, we could do that here. Aunt Lydia say, focus, bitch. Okay, we talking about the handmaids here. You talking about the fertility clinic. But Serena Joy says the fertility is the handmaid's brand. Bitch, these women are not products. They're not products to brand and resell. How fucking offensive is that? Okay, Serena Joy thinks that they can get the handmaids to come back to relocate and She said relocate, like they had a choice to be there in the first place. Relocate and then become indentured servants at the new clinic, because that's basically what it's going to be. Soften the blow of slavery. That's all that really is. So just then, a big bouquet of flowers came in. Of course, it was from Warden. Like I told y'all in previous episodes, they was going to try to hook Warden and Serena Joy up together. Lydia like, looky. Okay, Commander Warden wants some cookie. Okay. Serena Joy's like, girl, calm down. It ain't even like that, okay? Lydia said, well, it should be. Why not? Why is it not? He's single. He want a wife. He got the political power that we need. You got a healthy womb. Boom. Let's not waste. Waste not, want not. It's all about fertility, ain't it? It's all about fertility. So, Moira and June, they arrived to Jezebel's. This was too easy for them to get in there for me. I know the truck had a Gilead symbol on it, but no one stopped to check the credentials of this truck along the way. No one questioned why Ellen, a woman, would be in the front cab. Anywho, they get there and Ellen tell them they have 2 hours to get in and out. Get an eye on the penthouse, which is their point of entry. Get to Janine and warn her. Damn all the other handmaids is what they seem like to me. Damn all the Marthas. Just warn Janine. But now these Marthas, they supposed to be following a pattern, right? Okay. They supposed to be following a pattern so they don't get detected. But somehow, Moira and June were able to go off the path and go on their own without question into Jezebel's den. They finna go look for Janine. They looking high and low. They picking up every redhead that they can see. And they learn that she is already up in the penthouse pre-gaming because the commanders are making a surprise visit today. And they like, oh shit, the commanders was not supposed to be here today. Every time the Mayday go some fucking where, they got a surprise. They go to whatever they had to go do, to go wherever they went to go find the doggone, get the pictures to bring back. And they find out the fucking patrols surprisingly pop up. Now they go to Jezebel's and surprise, this commander showing up today too. Commander Bell, the head asshole in charge, who looks like J.D. Vance, who I compare to J.D. Vance. He's the one who passed Janine on to Commander Joey last time. He's her regular assaulter. Yeah, him. Okay. They almost got busted, but they was able to convince the aunt who showed up that they were ready to go to clean up the penthouse for the commanders. So they get up into the penthouse. I'm still appalled at the writing on how they just let Janine just all of a sudden get her marbles back. She back in good standing with her faculties, especially when they keep the girls high as hell at Jezebel's so they won't be a problem. But now nobody recognizes the most hated woman in Gilead because she got a mask on. Like Clark Kent wears glasses, they not gonna recognize her. But Janine somehow, in a blink of an eye, instantly knew who June was. Nobody else there recognizes June, but Janine just turned and said, "Oh shit, my girl." She instantly knew she was there. They tell her real quick, "Look, her, we working with Mayday. We coming back next week," and she lets them know that they coming back for them. So she wants them to get all the handmaids together, right? And she lets them know that there's one guardian inside, one guardian outside the door. But there was many more down that hallway that Moira and June passed. I hope they took note of that, right? And they asked her how often they switch shifts. She wasn't able to get that out. But she's like, I'll be here's my room. Go there. I'll be there in a few minutes. So Commander Bell must be a 2-minute brother. That's all I took from there. But anyway, he trying to get himself ready. He in there popping bottles and he get champagne everywhere. And so he stops June before she tries to exit out. Like, hey, you need to clean this shit up, right? And why he like, trying to get her to go further and further up his leg so he can get felt up by her too. Then all of a sudden he hears Lawrence's voice. Panic sets into Janine. Not to Janine, to June. And he gonna definitely recognize her. But knowing Lawrence, he not gonna stop. He not gonna stop the attack on Jezebel's, but he will not help them go after her either. Did I say that right? He not gonna help. He not gonna interfere for the most part. That's how Commander Lawrence is, right? She kept her head down though, even when he approached her and helped her get to her feet, and she was able to get out undetected. Kind of, sort of, because when he picked her up, he turned and looked like, I know her. He didn't even look her in his face, but he's like, I know her. He felt it in the soul. So Nick, he stops by the hospital and he's about to do what I said. He's no doubt about to pull that plug. And I said, the guardian's mother is there, and she said all he doing is mumbling, but he is awake. And look at God, won't he do it? Is basically what she's telling them, right? So Nick says, you know what, you need to go home, get some rest. I'm gonna sit here with him, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, oh my God, you're such a kind-hearted person. You are an angel. You are an angel. Well, the devil was an angel too, according to the Bible. So I guess he could be one. So she leaves her son in the arms of the devil. His name was Toby. He wakes up as soon as his mama walk out the door. I mean, I don't even think she hit the button on the elevator yet. And he wakes up and he talking about, oh, he cold. And so Nick put a little blanket over him and said, hey, you remember me? Man, all the blood drained from his face. All the blood drained from his breath left his body, his heartbeat. It picked up, it speed everywhere. And I was like, that heartbeat right there tell me he know who the fuck you are. He know who you are, right? So, but he instead says, where's my dog? Where's my dog? Nick say, the dog is fine. You know, he was a little bit reassured in himself that the guy, he was safe. So he started to leave. But then, like I said, that heartbeat told me everything. Because I thought Toby was lying. And so did Nick. He turned around, went right on back in there. And I guess all dogs go to heaven because Nick felt he should send Toby there too to go look for him. You need to know where your dog at? There you go. Okay. So back at Jezebel's. Belle is humiliating Janine as usual. So she decided she was going to cling to Lawrence, knowing this would piss Belle off, but also get her out of harm's way. Him and Lawrence got to a little exchange of words, but the other commanders at the particular time decided to side with Lawrence. I mean, he did just tell them of new ways in which they can make more money by expanding New Bethlehem, so why the fuck not, right? Lawrence tells Belle that he's a chump and nobody respects him or even likes him. Matter of fact, he need to watch his motherfucking self is what he told him. Well, we know one of the commanders that's about what was it? What we know one of the I was saying we know one of the commanders that's about to get got. It's gonna be Belle. Anyway, Lawrence is able to go off with Janine, and Janine, who been peeping the commander's conversation about New Bethlehem, wanted him to know a little secret that the handmaids do there. She thinks that he's an asshole, which I think he is too, but he's just less of an asshole than the rest of them. But anyway, she felt like it was her duty to show him like this little secret hole, peephole, that the handmaids look through themselves when they try to check out who was all in the building. So the other commanders are in there plotting to overthrow him and take over New Bethlehem, get as many people back there as possible, and Gilead their asses all over. Go back to the old way of doing things. Put them all back in bondage, shut down New Bethlehem, and close the fucking borders. That's what Trump is doing right now. Okay, all these restrictions on gender and identity and ICE raids and terrorizing our allies, all to keep us trapped here in this motherfucking country with no way out and no one willing to come in here and help and save us, keeping us under his fucking eye. That's basically what's going on. And at the end of the day, they gonna hold Lawrence responsible for the biggest coup in history and then hang him on the wall, according to Belle. Look her. I said the Belle was J.D. Vance. But I have always said that was J.D. Vance's plan too. I thought that Trump was MAGA, and I thought J.D. Vance was the Heritage Foundation, who is the people who put together Project 2025. And ultimately, I said that they were using Trump, while Trump think he running shit. Okay? And they planned to take him out in the long run. That was always my theory. He was going to get taken out by his own people. Belle, being J.D. Vance, wants him to hang on the fucking wall. Calhoun said he's gonna fall in line, and that's Elon Musk. That's who I think he represents. Then Reynolds said, "You think your father gonna allow it?" I was like, "Who the fuck is his father? Who is Belle's father?" It ain't Wharton, because Wharton's only child is Rose. Who the fuck is Belle's father? Excuse me. Unless I got the players wrong. Unless Belle is still J.D. Vance in this situation. Elon Musk is Lawrence. Because, Lawrence has got the economic things and Elon Musk, and J.D. Vance and Elon Musk don't get along. They can't stand each other for real. And Vance, like I said, he looks like Trump's son, and maybe Belle's father is Trump. in the grand scheme of things, maybe that's who the players are. Maybe Reynolds and Calhoun or Hegseth and Rubio, anything's possible. Anything possible. Anyway, Lawrence hears the entire plan. So Janine makes it back to her room. And I'm sorry, I would not be so loving to June. I thought they told Janine how they were captured. That June sold them out. But I could be wrong about that. Y'all let me know in the comment section. This is serious. Y'all can let me know in the comment section. June was telling Moira how she was shocked to see Lawrence, because this wasn't the type of man that he was. And Moira was like, so you think he better than the rest of them, right? And she's like, yeah, I did. Same way she feels about Nick. She think he's better than the rest of those oppressors. Janine is happy to see her, though. So she tell her that they are there to find her, and they need her to help get the other ladies out, because Mayday is about to come back and fuck shit up, right? Janine is like, bet, I'm all in. Trust me, all the ladies gonna follow suit. She even had letters that they had written to her, their family members, and she said the ladies been waiting on this moment. They already got their shifts together. I don't know what the fuck a shift is, but they got their shifts together. And then Janine, she says she knows everything about the building. The way it's mapped out, the pathway, the access code to the secret elevator. It was just built last year, but Janine knows it all. And a guardian changes shifts hourly. Okay, so she need to get back there before they become suspicious, and then her June go trying to change the motherfucking plan. She trying to move Janine now. If she did that, how the fuck would she prepare the other girls? She's so fucking selfish. And yes, this is for Janine, but it's selfish of June to never consider the other fucking women. Moira was like, no, we cannot get them all out safely today. This is a fucking test, right? We don't even know if we can get the fuck out. Janine and Moira, they both said, no, I need to stay here and help the girls. And June like, fuck them girls. Janine say, I will not leave without them. Unlike what you did, June. Unlike you, June. You already convinced Moira to leave people behind to save your ass once, to get on that boat. Okay? You've convinced Moira to leave the woman that she loved to save you. You allowed your boyfriend to use your daughter to capture the other women. You left them fucking behind. You didn't help the people on the train. You didn't help any of the other women help get the commanders. They commanders like they helped you. Everything has been about you and what the fuck you want. Okay? And you have the fucking nerve to say Moira wasn't built for this shit. Janine says, I'm staying. I'm not leaving them. Okay? Moira agrees. And June is like, 1 week. Okay? 1 week. That's all you're going to do is stay there. Again, how the fuck you going to tell this grown woman what the fuck she going to do? Moira is like, I can't believe you did that. Now, I'm the cold-hearted bitch that didn't want to rescue her. June say, I wasn't thinking about you. Exactly. And I'm like, why the fuck are we in here arguing about this shit? Get the fuck out of here and argue about it at home. That's what I'm thinking, right? But I still agree. Exactly. You was never thinking about her. You never think about anything else but what you want. Moira say, if we had taken her, you would have fucked up all the future plans for damn Mayday. Because security gonna instantly tighten the fuck up. And she like, well, I'm sorry. I had to leave her in Chicago. And she feeling guilty about that. Woo-wee. That's some revisionist history there, June. Moira was like, bitch, I was there. I know. It's hard on me too. June say, well, I've been friends with her longer than you. We've been through hell together, me and her, okay? Bitch, you've been friends with Moira longer than anybody, okay? But that don't matter to you at all. Moira say, your feelings, your friends, your trauma, your guilt, you. Do you have any idea how fucking sick I am of you? Yes, somebody is finally writing this script in my words. First Holly told her, and now Moira is telling her exactly how the fuck I feel, okay? She say, no, I don't. No, I don't. Tell me how you really feel, okay? That's because, bitch, you don't care about how the fuck she feel. It's always been about you. Moira been to hell and back too, okay? She's had trauma too. She's been in Jezebel's, going through hell night by night, being raped by multiple fucking men, doped up and shit, and you got raped once a month. She's lost friends too. Bitch, you ain't the only friend, and she got guilt too. Okay? Hell, she got away and left your ass in the train station before. Remember? Okay? You ain't the only one been through something. Damn near everyone that June lost is because of her own fuck ups. Let's set the record straight. Okay. But she says, okay, you right. Real fucking patronizing, right? And she basically, June is gonna dismiss all of Moira's trauma, right? And she's trying to gaslight the shit out of Moira, trying to make her feel sorry for her. And I'm like, bitch, fuck you, okay? I swear I will leave June as right there. Right there where she's staying, I will leave her. Find your own way back to the crib. That's what I would say. And try not to kill nobody in the process. Okay, but June in this moment is being Serena Joy. This is basically the same conversation that Aunt Lydia and Serena Joy was having about who was responsible for the pain of the handmaids, who got the bigger pain, who did the bigger thing, who did the less thing. Well, you know, she's like, I just didn't think you hated me so much. This is straight gaslighting right here. I was like, where is my cup for the white tears? Where are they at? Here you go, right here. Anyway, the moment I said, get the fuck out of there and have this conversation another time, in walks the pervy guardian. Why? First of all, is he in Janine's room when she out there busting it open for the commanders? Why he there? Is he in there to rub her panties on his face? Is he in there to play dress up in them? What is he in her room for? Now they stuck in there with this asshole who trying to take advantage of both of them, wanting them to pull their masks down so he can see their pretty little faces and everything. But he sees the letters on the bed instead. Why the fuck would they be there? I thought they put them under their robes or something. He puts them in a safe and says, you want them back? Spread them. Okay. We were like, fuck you. Okay. He throws her on the bed and proceeds to position her for rape. And June grabs something. I thought it was a wire. Try to wrap it around his motherfucking throat. But she give Moira the head nod. And then Moira donkey kicks his ass. She donkey kicks him. He flings her, throws her into a wall, crashing her into a lamp. The noise that they are making should not have been silent to other people. There was more people in that fucking hallway, right? June comes at him. Then he tosses her like a fucking rag doll too, pretty hard. And Moira's able to get up, hop on his back like she in the fucking WWE, get that rope around his neck, and she held that bitch for dear life. She's choking his ass, choking him until he was gone. Shoot, while he was losing breath, quick sucking for air and shit, Joe was kicking that motherfucker in the nuts. Just, this is you know what I'm saying? Well, the plan is definitely fucked up now. Because soon as he don't check in, they gonna shut that shit down. Because again, they change shifts every fucking hour. So either they have to get the girls out now, or they have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how the fuck to get out that building. So Serena Joy, she goes to visit Wharton. He had invited her, when he sent the roses, before he takes off and goes back to DC. Why is he going back to DC with Rose? Rose is living in New Bethlehem with her husband. Why are they going to DC? Okay, well, to impress Serena Joy, Wharton somehow built a library for the children to come to read, where the little boys and the little girls can come together. I was like, he pushing up on her real hard, but he's still kind of gentle with it, you know what I'm saying? He even asked for her input on the naming the library. He goes and show her the sketchbook that's already sketched out. It says Serena Joy and Gabrielle Wharton Library. Not Serena Joy Waterfoot and Gabrielle. Serena Joy and Gabrielle Wharton. Basically, he's saying, will you marry me, boo? Will you marry me? And she's like, I didn't come back here to get married. I didn't come back here to be a wife all over again. And then he was like, why not? You know what I'm saying? I can't move to DC. Okay, fine. I can't move to Boston. Okay, fine. Well, I got work to do here. He was like, girl, whatever you want, whatever you need. Whatever you want. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever you need. My heart belongs to you. Child, he in love. He's in love. He like, look here, we could live wherever you want to live. We could live here 5 minutes, live there 10. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you want to go. She tell him, she choose to be free. Well, she said, I'm going to continue to read, which basically means I choose to be free. You know what I'm saying? And she chose to be free, but still convince others to think as she thinks. How ironic is that shit? Ward say he cool with all that. He cool with all that because she inspires him to be a better man. He wants to change the world with her because she believes that's her calling. And she like, so you gonna be okay with raising another man's child? Well, girl, you ain't got no problem raising another woman's baby. Remember you took June's child from her. That's the whole premise of Gilead, is to take another woman's child. So why can't he raise another man's child? You know what I'm saying? But he like, I'm down for whatever, girl, whatever you want. Okay. And then he said, on top of that, don't you think Noah need a little brother or little sister? Okay. I mean, if y'all get married, Rose is legally his sister, a big sister, albeit, but still a sister. You know what I'm saying? Legally. She's like, I do. I was like, I guess that means she do to him. I do for the altar. Is that what you're saying? Look, her, I am so mad that this bitch is getting a fairy tale, happily ever after story. You know what I'm saying? I just hope it doesn't end in a happy fairy tale ending. Okay. But I bet that there are those of y'all out here with tears of joy as he got down on one knee and proposed to her, and she said yes. I bet you it was a bunch of y'all motherfuckers out there cheering and like, oh my God. Back at Jezebel's, Maura and June still trying to get out, still trying to make their great escape. Luke and Ellen still waiting in the truck. They pulled it back into the garage, and the guardian approaches like, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out now, right? And they like, we need to go get the empty barrels out the kitchen. He's like, do it tomorrow. We got the commanders here. This is not the time, right? And the ladies, they make their way down to the boiler room. They had to get rid of the body. They don't leave it up in that room. And they threw his ass in the incinerator. And then they made their way over to the garage, and they see that the dude is out there talking to Ellen and Luke is still trying to delay it just so the women have a chance to get back to the doggone truck. And the guardian's pissed, like, get the fuck out of here. He even clucks Luke and knock his ass down, right? And while he out here talking to them, a full fucking lockdown begins. They've already realized that this dude is missing. It ain't been an hour yet. Sirens start to blare, and they say that ain't nobody getting in or out of the motherfucking building. Okay. Luke is continuously he said no, nobody's getting in or out of the building. But then we go to the garage because Maura and June were trapped, and they trying to figure out how the fuck they gonna get out. They need a code to the gate, a commander's code to get out. And here comes Commander Joey. I thought they just said nobody's leaving in or out the building, and here he is. Okay, now when they saw him, June was like, "Don't worry, we got help." Why is he the exception? Why does he get to leave? June is going to reveal herself to Lawrence just to help get them out. That's what I feel already. And I'll be damned, she jumped her ass right in front of his car. Of course, he gets out. He opens the trunk, tells them to get in. Why? You ain't finna go through no guards. But he tells them to get in the trunk. And as she asks him, could he get them to the border, he just slams the trunk on them. We don't know what Commander Joey is going to do. If he's going to help her, or he's going to say, ha ha, got her. That's the end of this episode. Let me know what y'all think, y'all. I know this is not, I didn't start this off in the way that I normally would. I'm in my headspace. I'm just letting you know that right now. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being patient. Peace.